You ever look at a company's financial report and your eyes just glaze over? It's just this wall of numbers. It feels like a completely different language. But what if I told you that buried inside all that data is actually a story of success, of challenges, and sometimes a pretty dramatic plot twist? Well, today, we're going to crack that code. We're going to turn this confusing data into a story that makes sense, and we'll use a real company to do it.
Okay, this is what we're up against. This is a page from a real financial report, just jammed with tags, codes, and numbers. I know it looks super intimidating, but trust me, this isn't just noise. These are all clues, and together, you and I, we're the detectives who are about to piece it all together. So here's the key. We just have to change how we look at it. We're not accountants crunching numbers here. We're investigators, and we're following a trail. Every single number has something to tell us, and our job is to just listen. So, you ready to crack this case? Let's dive in.
All right, every investigation needs a subject. For us, it's a company called BLS International Services Limited. We're going to put their financial report from one specific quarter right under the microscope and see what story it tells us. So, what does this company actually do? Well, the report tells us itself right in a section called Description of Single Segment. Basically, in plain English, BLS handles stuff like visa applications for governments. Pretty simple, right? A straightforward business. Now let's see what the money trail says.
The very first question in any financial investigation is always the most basic one. Is the company actually making any money from its main business? This is what everyone calls the top line, and it's always our starting point. And here we go, our first major clue. For the 3 months ending in September 2019, BLS brought in about 204 crore rupees. This number, revenue from operations, that's the money they made directly from their main job, processing visas. It tells us, yep, the business is up and running and making sales. So far, so good.
Now, bringing money in the door is great, but it's really only half the story. The next big question is, after you pay all the bills, is there any actual money left over? So we're moving from the top line down to the bottom line to solve this profit puzzle.
Okay, let's start doing the math. We begin with the total income. Now, this includes the revenue from their main business that we just saw, plus any other little bits of income they might have, like interest they earned. For this quarter, it all adds up to roughly 205 crore rupees.
But, of course, as they say, it costs money to make money. The company has to pay for supplies, salaries, rent, you name it. The report conveniently bundles all of this up into total expenses, which for this quarter was about 178 crore rupees. Now, for the moment of truth.
It's simple math, right? Income minus expenses, and we get a profit of around 27 crore rupees. Now, this is a really important number. It's the profit from the normal, everyday running of the business. But you'll notice I called it profit before surprises, and there's a reason for that. But before we get to the twist, let's see where all that money went.
And this is where it gets interesting. A huge chunk, 78%, is listed as cost of materials. Now, for a service company, that probably means things like payments to governments or other direct costs for handling all those applications. Employee salaries and benefits are the next biggest piece of the pie at 10%. This gives us a really clear picture of how their business actually works.
Okay, remember that profit before surprises I mentioned? Well, every once in a while in a financial report, you find a clue that points to a major plot twist, a single line that can completely change the entire story. And in this report, we found one.
And there it is. Just look at that middle line. Exceptional items before tax, a negative 27.8 crore rupees. This one thing, this single event, was bigger than all the profit the company made from its normal operations. It completely wiped out their profit and flipped it into a 1.3 crore rupee loss for the quarter. This, my friends, is the smoking gun of our investigation.
So what in the world is this mysterious exceptional item? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like, something unusual, a one-off event that's not part of the company's regular day-to-day visa business. It could be anything really, selling a building, a big lawsuit settlement. The key thing is that it's reported separately so that we can still see the true performance of the main business without this big distraction.
So, we've got revenue, we've got expenses, and we have a super dramatic one-time event. But what does all of this actually mean for the people who own the company, the shareholders? Let's get to the final score.
To see things from a shareholder's point of view, we look at a number called earnings per share, or just EPS. The easiest way to think about it is it's each shareholder's slice of the profit pie. So a higher EPS is obviously better. It's one of the most watched numbers in any financial report, for sure.
And wow, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Look at the company's EPS in 2 earlier quarters. Looking strong, nice and healthy. Now look at our quarter, the one with the big plot twist. The EPS just plummeted to almost nothing. That shows you the direct financial hit that one-time event had on every single person who owned a share.
So there we have it. We followed the clues from the top line all the way to the bottom line, we uncovered a plot twist, and we saw exactly how it affected the final score. We've read the story that was hiding in the numbers, and now you can too.
Here it is. This is the simple 5-step toolkit we just used. You start at the top with revenue, then you follow the costs to find the profit. Always, always hunt for those surprise plot twists, those exceptional items, and then finish up by checking the final score with EPS. You can use this exact framework on pretty much any financial report you come across.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. Every single financial report is telling a story. These aren't just random numbers on a page. They're the narrative of a company's journey. Your job is just to learn how to listen.
So the next time you're staring at a wall of financial data, don't get intimidated. See it for what it is, a mystery that's just waiting for you to solve it. Grab your detective toolkit, start asking these questions, and see what story the numbers have to tell you. What do you think you'll uncover?